Sir, I beg to move that the Election Law Amendment Bill 2003 be taken up for consideration and approval by this Honorable House. Sir, the object of this amendment has been to enable those working for us in the armed forces and in various categories covered under this bill to effectively exercise their right to vote. So far, facilities have been available to a certain section of our electorate, which on account of call of duty, either on account of election duty or on account of call of national duty in the security arrangements of the country, is unable to be present in their constituency. The option available to them in lieu of physical presence at a polling booth is to cast their vote by the postal ballot system. Since the amendments have taken place to the Representation of People's Act, and the effective period for campaign has been reduced to 14 days. This has become quite ineffective in terms of exercise of voting right by a postal ballot. I use the word ineffective because to the headquarters of various armed forces organizations from all constituencies all over the country, postal ballots are sent. Then they are sorted out there and sent to the various regions or areas where this personnel is posted. From there, the exact positions of each of the serving officers or jawans has to be ascertained, and the ballot is then sent to them, where it is stamped upon by them and then sent back to the respective returning officers. And 14 days is obviously inadequate. And experience has shown, though figures varied between the Postal Department and the Election Commission, the Election Commission felt that the figures were barely about 10% or so people who are able to exercise. But when in the other house this matter was being debated, most members of parliament who contested Lok Sabha elections effectively felt that not more than 50 to 100 per constituency of these ballots are actually received back from officers of the security forces itself. There is a strong opinion amongst the security forces that some effective right of vote should be given to them. Therefore, this whole idea of permitting them to vote by proxy, the principle is in the bill. To make it operationalized, the Election Commission will have to frame detailed rules in this matter as to how it is to be exercised. There would be a category of authorized persons who would be authorized relatives, and there could be an assignment in advance or an authorization much before this entire period, where a person who chooses not to be present himself because of call of duty, or alternatively does not want to use the postal ballot system, to use the proxy voting system by which he can ensure that his vote is cast. It's obviously a voluntary relinquishment of that right in favor of an authorized relative, and those who do not want to exercise it its way, the other options which are existing are already available to them. This is thus only an enabling provision. So this has been in considerable debate over the last few years as to the desirability of this. Most people in the political process have felt, as have the security forces, that this right should be made more effective. There have been at times two views how to make it more effective. Within the 14-day period, it is quite difficult by the postal ballot system to make it effective. And therefore, the conflicting views, despite best motivations from various political groups, one set of people have effectively argued that since this right to franchise is being effectively denied to a large number of them because of these procedural and logistical problems, we must support this alternative system. The other view which has been argued is that in doing so, we are doing away with the principle of secrecy, which is also of great importance as far as the election system is concerned. So I have tried to examine how this has worked out in several other jurisdictions all over the world. There are a large number of countries, at least about 12 of them, which in one way or the other have today formulated this system of proxy voting for categories of electorate. The United Kingdom has done it, France has done it, Canada has done it, even the US has done it. Some of the more liberal democracies have also done it. Some have done it for the security forces. Some countries have gone to the extent of doing it for those who are visually or physically challenged. There are some countries which have also done it for people who on the day of election are expected to be outside the country. So therefore, this is also a facility which has been given to them, and this system has started working as far as those countries is concerned. There are several other categories also, for instance, our missions abroad, but in those cases, the system of sending them through the diplomatic bag, where it can reach them in 2 or 3 days, the ballot paper itself is available to them. And therefore, after considering all these views, the government has been of the view that this perhaps is an issue which this House must take up for consideration. The Lok Sabha has approved this, and therefore the effective choice is between a difficulty which results in denial of franchise to a large number of these army and security personnel, or alternatively giving them the option of voting also by a system of proxy ballot. And the government has favored the view, after an extensive discussion and consultation on the subject has gone on, that we must effectively now live up to the expectations which some of our forces also have in this matter, and the system of proxy voting for this limited class must be introduced. With these words, sir, I commend to this Honorable House that this bill be taken up for consideration and acceptance by this House.
So now the motion has been moved.